Hey everyone, George Christie here with Wine Industry Network. Welcome to a special edition of the Win Educational Webinar Series. Last year, we had the pleasure of being able to work with the Come Together team and play a small role in the launch of the Come Over October initiative, which, as many of you know, was incredibly successful, not just at the winery level, but our associations got behind it, our distributors, our retailers got behind it. It got a ton of press and something that we feel really good about being a part of in that early stage. We're back again this year. We want to build on that momentum. We put together a great webinar. We're going to highlight some of the accomplishments that the initiative experienced last year. We've got some testimonials from some of the producers out there that not only did they embrace it, but they really leveraged it to drive some sales. They're going to share what they did and what they experienced. And we've got some ideas that you might want to consider adopting for year 2 of the Come Over October program. So once again, we're really excited to be able to work with the Come Together team, beginning with Kimberly Charles. Kimberly is the founder and president of Charles Communications Associates. She's joined by Gino Colangelo, who is the president of Colangelo and Partners. And last but certainly not least, a wine writer, public speaker, author of the Wine Bible, Karen MacNeil, and Karen is going to lead today's conversation, or she's going to kick it off, I should say. So thank you for joining us today. I really encourage everyone to get behind Come Over October. I hope you enjoy the webinar, and I'm going to hand it off to Karen and let her take it from here.
Thank you, George, and hello, everyone. We're so pleased to be here. I'd like to also ask you to put any questions you might have, just drop them in the chat. Last year, in the face of so many challenges to the wine industry, Kimberly Charles, Gino Colangelo, and I founded Come Together, a community for wine. That company, which is a mission-driven company, launched and created and launched 2 campaigns, Come Over October and Share and Pair Sundays. The idea for Come Over October was really very simple. We asked and encouraged wine lovers all over the country to invite a friend, a colleague, a neighbor, a family member to come over to share some wine. The success of that campaign and the support we received from the wine industry were both tremendous. As just one element of the success, we reached 2 billion people via media. The 2025 campaign will be even bigger. We are reaching out to brand new audiences beyond just the traditional wine audience. In fact, I'd like to take a moment to share with you an excerpt from my Come Over October interview with Alecia Moore, the owner and winemaker of Two Wolves Winery in Santa Barbara. Alecia is better known as the Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter Pink. And after Alecia, you'll see an excerpt from my interview with basketball star CJ McCollum, who plays with the Washington Wizards. Here they are.
I mean, think about that one experience you had, whether it was a dinner with a certain someone or a date or just these sort of timestamps that stamp their way into your mind. If you're paying attention, wine will do that same thing. Like, I keep all my favorite bottles. I'm going to show you our
there you go.
All my favorite bottles.
Awesome.
I've written on them where I was, what I was doing, who I was with. Oh, this is a Loire. She's one of my heroes.
Oh, yes.
La
Louise Loire.
In 2018, packing our first sold out shipment of Petit Verdot with Renee and Allison.
Oh,
the wine that we decided to open. I mean,
awesome.
And it's a 2011, and I remember that day. I remember that.
I think there's also a huge storytelling aspect to wine. Everyone has a story. They have that wine that brought them in, there's that bottle, there's that winemaker, there's that som, there's that person that kind of allows you to gravitate towards it. There's a wine that brought you here. And I think the cool part about the Willamette Valley and Oregon in general is that everybody is willing to help each other. If we win, the next winery wins. When I'm in Hawaii, or when I'm on the road in Chicago, when I'm on the road in New York, LA, all those big cities, and even the small ones, I love seeing an Oregon wine on the menu. It makes me happy, it makes me smile.
Those were fantastic. And your support really makes all of what we do possible. We like to call it a movement versus a campaign. And this is an example of over the last 18 months who has supported us at every tier within the industry. So we are extremely grateful. And we continue to request support in whatever way you can provide it, be it as an advocate or even financially. As you can see on the next slide, we've got a very robust media outreach campaign. This took the form of traditional press releases, which still really work, to be honest, press conferences. Karen has recorded a number of incredible interviews with personalities throughout the wine industry, be they chefs, winemakers, sports heroes, rock stars, you name it, winery owners. So we have a very wonderful grouping of videos called Wine, Food, and Friends. And those are being shared on our Instagram channel. They are on the Come Over October and the Share and Pair Sundays websites. So please take a look at those. And we're always looking for great inspiration. So if you know of somebody who loves wine that can help us reach out to beyond our traditional wine-loving consumers, we're all ears. So our plans over the course of the last couple of years have included some national press conferences. We've done 2 digital press conferences so far. And we would like to really thank those who have hosted us in person, and that is Joseph Felt Vineyards last year, La Crema this year, and importantly, Wine America, who will host our 2nd annual Congressional Wine Caucus tasting this year. That is going to be on October 8th. So if you join us as a sponsor, we are in a position to be able to feature your wines at that event, which will be, it's a bipartisan caucus that was created years ago to advocate for the issues and the important policies around wine. And it is chaired by Dan Newhouse, Republican from Washington State, and Mike Thompson, Democrat from California. In addition to that, we will have a press conference in New York on October 9th. So we want to make sure you're aware of that. If you happen to be in New York, please let us know. We plan on keeping the momentum going. Okay, so as you are going to witness throughout this presentation, we have a number of testimonials from various organizations that supported Come Over October. And we wanted to give you a really great lens into the diversity of creativity that we've encountered. We're going to be sharing a testimonial from a winery that came up with an event, a cultural event around Diwali. We are going to share what an entire state did within the state of Texas, which was to bring together all its various entities, be it the Department of Ag, various wine trail groups, the Texas Wine, Grape, and Growers Commission, and building together an entire promotion. They took over their month of October, and you're going to hear more about that as well. And also the Napa Valley Vintners Association, which as an entity that advocates for an entire region, you'll be able to hear a little bit more about that as well, in addition to Jackson Family Wines, who have been a foundational supporter. So understand that creativity has no limits. Many of our partners have really gotten quite active and creative on Instagram. We invite you to follow us on Come Over October on Instagram, as well as Share and Pair Sundays, and learn more about what your colleagues have really executed on behalf of the campaign. We also want to thank the publishers within our wine industry. We all know this is a challenging time, and many publishers, be they digital only or digital in print, have stepped up to support us, and you can get a sense of who those folks are here. Too many to mention. But we're really grateful for, once again, the continued support for 2025. So that obviously affects both trade and consumers, and we have our campaigns that follow both of those themes. We also want to thank our preferred partners. We are working with Lyft, who has a code for new riders during the month, well, actually throughout the whole year, which will give you a discount off of taking a ride. And also Local Wine Events, which is an aggregator for all events taking place around the country. So we want to encourage you to please list your events there that are taking place in October, and spread the word. There's a landing page just for that. And also Yelp. Yelp joined us this year as a community partner. They have incredible groups of consumers that are in every major market. And this year we're going to be working with the Northern California chapter of Yelp. So we hope to do more in 2026. All right. And as Karen alluded to earlier, the impact of our campaigns, and this is a summary of both Share and Pair Sundays and Come Over October 1.0. The amount of folks that we have reached both in earned media, close to 2 billion, which is really phenomenal. Our social media outreach continues to grow. So please follow us, please engage with us. We like to collaborate when we can, and that's usually with sponsors. But we also tag really fun campaigns and repost and share your great creativity. Gino is going to talk a little bit more about the retail activation of this program. And last year we had, and also this spring, so between the fall and the spring, we had 1,400 stores participate in Come Over October. And then finally, throughout all of our in-store placements and 7 million consumers had a chance to see a lot of that activation at retail. So really strong numbers there. Well, you've heard it from us in terms of how we as a team at Come Over October implemented the marketing and the partnership development. But I think nothing really substitutes for hearing from those who did it themselves. And you can witness the creativity and the imagination that several of our partners here with their testimonials will share, from a statewide program to a growers program to an individual winery, and to Jackson Family Wine, which has a group of wineries as well. So please get inspired. And then after that, we're going to share 10 other ways that you can come over October through Barbara Fitzgerald. And that is just the beginning. We're here to brainstorm with you and to nurture along any ideas and inspiration you may have.
Hi, I'm Shyla Salmon, Senior Vice President at Jackson Family Wines. And the Come Over October team came to us early last summer and said they were working on a campaign. And we were so enthused by the concept, what we could do, that we dove right in as a founding partner. And we got our entire team to come together and brainstorm how we could execute this at our estates. In the end, we ended up doing programs at 9 of our wineries. And each winery executed in its own way, but I think the place where we got some of our best ideas was from our young employees, who are actually our target. So we're trying to reach young people and bring them into the wine community. And our employees that are in that demographic really came up with some great stuff. So at La Crema, we had Fall Fest, which was a huge afternoon party with a band, hay bales, photo moment. We had influencers, we had tons of food trucks and local food. At Kendall Jackson, we had what we called a Harvest Hangout Day. Same thing with bands and all of that. And then at Freemark Abbey, which is a more elevated Napa Valley estate, we actually hosted a really nice trade event and brought trade from all over the Napa Valley to come together and celebrate at Freemark, celebrate Come Over October. And everything that we did was complimentary. And doing that complimentary extension of the gracious hospitality of wine country really came from our owner, Barbara Benke, who said to us, we want it to be free like it used to be. We need to have a moment where things are complimentary and inviting versus sometimes prohibitive by price. And we had so much success with Come Over October that we are actually running a campaign right now called Social Hour. We did it all through July and all through August, where every Thursday we do 4 hours of open complimentary tastings with music and games. And people continue to come to our wineries through that social hour, which came out of Come Over October last year. At our event, by the numbers, we had 65 wine club signups. We had 1,100 reservations across our properties. We did that through Talk. We had 2,900 estate visits by guests who learned about Come Over October and came to our properties. We sold $80,000 worth of wine on site. We sold out 2 out of the 3 big events that we did, and we had 26 influencers that jumped on board, came out to the estates and rallied around Come Over October. So I think, the benefit here is really thinking about how many ways you could bring Come Over October to life, and really let your teams run with it. We're really happy it's here.
Napa Valley Vintners is a nonprofit trade association that works to promote, protect, and enhance Napa Valley alongside its 550 winery members. As the NVV marketing chair, I've seen firsthand that our greatest impact and most meaningful successes happen when we work together. Come Over October is exactly that. It unites the entire industry, encourages people to gather, share wine, and celebrate life. We will encourage all of our 550 winery members to participate this fall via their social media, website, newsletter, tasting room, events, however they can. Additionally, we're folding this initiative into our fall marketing efforts as we travel the US, helping to ensure that the message is received by wine lovers nationwide. We are proud to once again support this initiative and look forward to raising a glass with both old friends and new this October.
The Texas wine industry had a great opportunity with Come Over October to find a way to be able to collaborate all together. We had a number of organizations within the state, like the Texas Wine and Grape Growers Association, the Texas Hill Country Wineries Association, Texas Wine Growers, the Texas Fine Wine Group. We all got a chance to be able to kind of discuss the concept of Come Over October together and then figure out ways to be able to collaborate together. And we were lucky enough to be able to bring in our state organization, the Texas Department of Agriculture, into the conversation, and they really helped spearhead our ability to be able to have a consolidated place on the website that promotes Texas wine, but to have a subset section to be able to talk about what we were doing in Texas for the Come Over October campaign. And what we took from that was to take the same heart and feeling from the Come Over October campaign of being able to bring people together and just enjoy the beverage that we love so much. We love making it, we love enjoying it, and we love sharing it. And we decided to do a little Texas spin on that. And so we did a sub-campaign in addition to the Come Over October that we called Come On Over Y'all. And it was a hashtag campaign that we included with all of our materials that month and any of the events that we were doing that were promoting that concept. And we did a social media concept. We had a big page where all the event listings were for all the wineries that were participating, kind of in one place for consumers to be able to go to. And we got a chance to be able to kind of promote together as a unified state the same concepts that we were trying to do nationally to be able to encourage people to share that bottle that they love so much with the table next to them or with their family or friends and be able to talk about it a little bit more. Ultimately, that's what we love to do at the winery. We love to be able to bring people in and teach them about what's growing in their backyard and be able to showcase all the amazing things that are happening in Texas wine. And this was a great campaign to be able to overlay that same concept. And in addition, which was even better, it also coincided with Texas Wine Month, which is in October here. And so for us, we ended up kind of rolling everything together to make it into a super campaign. So it was fantastic timing, it was a great theme, and it really gave us a chance to be able to collaborate together all across the state to be able to have a unified message that hopefully brought more awareness to people about being able to support local, drink local, and just enjoy it with the people that they love.
I am coming to you literally thousands of miles away from Colangelo, which is my hometown in India. I'm here to see my mom. I'm here to celebrate a festival. And what better way to connect with Come Over October than this? Mom has made a beautiful fish curry. There is a smell of spice in the air, and it just felt right to do this from the kitchen. It's past our bedtime, so it's very sweet of Mom to be here. And the spirit of Come Over October is about sharing, is about connecting. My name is Nita Metal. I own LXP Wine in Paso Robles. We are in the prestigious Willow Creek district, and we do something interesting. We are a porterhouse. We love our Syrah, but really what's interesting about what we do, apart from making amazing wine, is we pair our wine with flavors from all over the world. It is something that has become a signature for LXV. It's what defines us. And it's sort of creating this very interesting bridges between not only LXV wine and the flavors, but it also creates kind of these cultural bridges. It creates these conversations. So it has taken a life of its own, and it's very exciting. Every club shipment is dedicated to a different cuisine. This upcoming club shipment, for the first time, we are doing Indian spices. We never do Indian spices. It's flavors from all over the world. This time we thought we would do Indian spices, and not only that, in spirit of Come Over October, and this was a chat that I was having with Kimberly, Charles, when we were talking about Come Over October and the impact it has about the messaging of coming together and sharing. We thought, why not make this club shipment about that spirit? Well, coincidentally, October 20th is Diwali, which is our biggest festival. Diwali is the festival of light. It is the triumph of good over evil, and it's about food, of course. So the next club shipment is going to be dedicated to Diwali. And I'm in India for a festival. I'm here to meet mom and dad, but I'm also putting my mom to work. As many of you who know LXV know that my mom is a big part of doing the spices. My mom is a biotechnologist. She manages 2 factories post-retirement, but this is her passion. Food is her passion. So she's helping me create these blends. And I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone on this blend. It's called Punch Foreign. So I just put all the spices for you guys. I don't think you can see it, but anyway. This is a little bit difficult for me because it's from the East India. It's not something I've worked with before. It's got a bitter edge to it because it's made out of seeds. So it's nigella seeds, cumin, fenugreek, fennel, onion, and dry mango powder. So a lot of bitter edges. So you have to balance it out a little bit with salt and acid to pair with wine. So it's been an interesting one. But what I love is that's the spice that usually goes into this fish curry. So it's kind of, everything is coming together tonight, and it was not planned. My mom had no idea that we were able to do this photo shoot. So it kind of, I think it was meant to be. And I think that's what Come Over October is about. It's about something that's meant to be in terms of food, wine, relationships, friends, family. So in a way, actually, I want to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to do this with my mom, because we have never captured this together. I love you.
So you had a chance to see how Come Over October came to life. And as a result of your support and the industry's support, we were able this year to hire a program manager to assist us with all the implementation and logistics and partnership development. And we're super thrilled to have Barbara Fitzgerald as part of our team. And she's going to share with you 10 different ways that we've come up with. And these are only a start of how you can implement Come Over October. Barbara.
Thank you, Kimberly. I'm really glad to be here. We'll talk about some real tangible ways wineries can bring Come Over October to life, because this campaign really shines when you make it your own. So the first is to host a themed tasting event. And this could be anything from a harvest dinner to a library wine weekend, or even something playful and seasonal. I loved how last year Péju Winery did their Franken Flight, which was a Cabernet Franc flight with a Halloween twist that told a really great story and had that kind of seasonal magic. Or Martin Ray Winery last year did a harvest happy hour. So they did wines by the glass, terrace views, and just a simple invitation to bring your people. Second, we could launch a limited time offer. So create some urgency with special pricing, bundles, 2-for-1 tastings. Another example, Domaine Divio in Oregon nailed this last year. They offered 30% off large formats and ran a social media giveaway with the Come Over October hashtag to get people talking. Third, lean into food and wine pairings. So partner with some local food makers or restaurants. A great example was Naidu Winery in Sonoma last year, celebrated Diwali with a paneer and wine pairing, so a perfect blend of cultural tradition and connection and local food. Number 4, you could bring Come Over October into your wine club shipments. So add recipes, pairing ideas, or theme collaterals so members can celebrate Come Over October at home. Ridge Vineyards did this beautifully last year with some printed materials in the box. They also had some great blog posts and pairings with local food artisans available on their website. Another great way is to tie into a cultural or community celebration. So a great example of this was LXV Wine in Southern California that created a Friendsgiving menu around their fall club shipment and incorporated wine and spice blends and recipes that encourage members to host a Friendsgiving dinner on the last Saturday of October. Then another great way to get involved is to activate on social media. So just show gatherings in a fun, relatable way. A really cool example of this last year was Chateau Chantal recreated the Friends opening credit in their vineyard, which was, instant shareability and smiles. Another great way is to offer a gather at home kit. So for folks who can't make it to the winery, you could curate a pack with wine, pairing some additional items besides wine, maybe some great food, even a keepsake. 1111 Winery last year did this with wine, dark chocolates, and a branded wine key to make for a perfect at-home celebration. Another great option, collaborate with influencers. So invite them to share their own Come Over October experiences. This happened widely last year, but a great example was Cliff Family Vineyards, who worked with Wine with Paige to showcase their B Corp values and invited people to come visit them during the month of October. Another great way is to align with regional programs. So if your area already celebrates some kind of wine event in October, brand it with some Come Over October assets. And a perfect example of this was the entire state of Texas came together to celebrate their October wine month and rebranded it Come On Over Y'all. So uniting kind of the wine groups under one banner of Come Over October. And then finally, inspire your community to create their own content. Famici Wine Cellars asked members to submit recipes and pairings, and then they featured one on each Sunday in October on social media and even had printed cards for their tasting room. So really, the bottom line here is whether you go with a big event or keep it really simple with a themed social post, there's really a way to make Come Over October work for your winery and for you to put your own spin on it. So I'll pass it over now to Gino, who's going to talk about some retail activations, which is another exciting way that this campaign really, really shines. So Gino.
Thanks, Barbara. Those are real actionable, tangible ideas, and we encourage everybody to borrow liberally, and yet also use your own creativity. And please share if you have a successful promotion. We'll put it on our website, which promotes you. And it helps your colleagues in wine. We all know that wine needs advocacy now more than ever. A new Gallup poll just released reports that the number of people who believe that even moderate consumption of wine is risky to health went from 28% a few years ago to 53%. That's a dramatic increase in people concerned about even moderate drinking, 1 to 2 glasses a day. So we are all about wine advocacy, and our job is advocacy, and we know your job is sales, and we believe the two work together really, really well. Come Over October succeeds, and Karen, Kimberly, and I have discussed this from the very beginning. Come Over October succeeds with consumer engagement, and nobody's on the front line with consumer more than a retailer, right? So we encourage you to engage your key accounts, co-promote under the Come Over October banner. It's good for wine and it's good for your business. And we have this evidence generously provided by Constellation. If you see on this chart, last year, Constellation promoted 3 SKUs in over 600 Kroger stores through in-store radio that Karen voiced over. And Karen is available as talent for things like this. You'll notice on this chart that those SKUs that were promoted in those Kroger stores showed dramatic lift in terms of sales. Kim Crawford almost 19%, variance of 5.5% over stores that didn't run the promotion. Mayomi, a variance of over 6%, and The Prisoner, a variance of over 10%. That is dramatic evidence, data that proves that marketing under the Come Over October banner really works. So we have, this can go two ways. So if you have a retail account, you go to them with a promotional idea and you promote under the Come Over October banner. On the other hand, retailers like Total Wine, who is a big supporter of our campaign, last year they had in-store signage, they ran video. They are reaching out to suppliers and asking suppliers to come up with ways to co-promote with them. Wine.com is another one. Wine.com is very active, eager for ideas, eager for content, eager for partnership. So go to your key accounts. We have regional chains like Bottle King and Buy Right in New Jersey. Gary's a fantastic wine store, a big supporter from the very beginning, running promotions. Gary's has a marketplace, so they can do their own sort of food and wine pairings, which is fantastic. There's actually a software company called Wining that has enlisted 10 wineries under the Come Over October banner. Wining allows people to aggregate their buying and get discounts on full cases, and they've gotten 10 wineries on board that they're promoting under Come Over October, which is perfectly themed, right? Because people coming together over wine. So that's a fantastic example of how Come Over October serves as an umbrella platform through which wineries can help sell more, can sell more wine. So this year we're also introducing an at-home Come Over October party kit. We will introduce these to consumers through social media and press and some direct marketing, encouraging consumers to throw their own parties at home. So again, consumer engagement is everything. We need to change the narrative about wine to a much more positive one. We need to basically teach Americans about wine culture, those who are not already embracing it, in order to maintain a healthy wine business going into the future. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we hope that you will become a part of this year's Come Over October movement. The QR code on your screen will direct you to our sponsorship deck so that you can share that with your colleagues and think about becoming a very active sponsor of this incredible movement. And then finally, if you'd like to reach out to any of us, you see Kimberly, Gino's, and Barbara's emails there on the screen. We would welcome your calls. We're here to help ideate ideas for you. It's our passion to help the wine industry be as strong and vital and healthy as it can be. And we know that with your help, we can do that. Thank you.